Well, welcome to Speaking of Horses. I'm your host, Wayne Williams, and we're ready to go right here with some of the great stories from the horse industry. So join us as we get ready to go Speaking of Horses right here on this station. Hey, this is Wayne Williams, Speaking of Horses. We're glad to have you join us today. And today, we're going to talk about one of those subjects that it's near and dear to every horse owner's heart, every animal owner's heart, really. And it's fly control, or more than that, just pest control. Larry Smock with Pyranha is my guest. Now, Larry, welcome, and tell us about Pyranha's approach to pest control like this.
Well, thank you, Wayne, for having me on. Pyranha got to start back in the 1970s in the pest control market, and we started with misting systems for barns, knowing that there was a definite need for that. The founder of the company wanted to make sure that he had a product that would be effective against all the pests that we find in the barn, not just the flies, but all the pests, mosquitoes, ants, anything that you have. And so he came out with our barn misting system originally. Took him 3 years to come to market with that, Wayne, and the reason for that is the water that you mix our product with in our concentrate is different across the country. So here in Iowa, where I'm from, we have very hard water. Other parts of the country have softer water. What happens, though, is when you mix a concentrate together, you need to make sure that that product stays suspended in solution. Otherwise, it would clog the nozzles of those misting systems. So after 3 to 4 years of development, Pyranha launched our first product, which was a concentrate for that misting system. No matter where you blended that product, it stays suspended in solution. That's true with all of our products that we have out there that we blend at our facility in Houston, Texas. Those products will stay blended in solution. And so, from the first spray to the last spray, you're getting the right amount of active ingredient that you need for your horse. So Pyranha is not only worried just about putting a product in the market. We're worried about putting a product in the market that's actually going to work. And so you'll see a lot of horse owners that'll tell you that I use Pyranha because it's the only thing that works. You guys' tagline should be, it works. And so we're really concerned in making sure that whether it's a fly, a mosquito, whether you're using the product as a premise spray, which most of our products can also be used in that application as well, that it is going to kill any of those insects and those nuisance pests that we're concerned with.
Well, it's quite a program to put together something, and you mentioned something there I hadn't thought about, and that was the mixture in the bottle staying suspended in the liquid. If you buy that fly spray and it's on the shelf and you use it whenever you say got the horse in the barn and you're working on them or whatever, you want to pick that up 2 or 3 weeks from now when you're still in one bottle and have it still be active and proper.
Exactly. It's amazing to me across the country as I have an opportunity to speak to end users and to speak to our people that sell our product, that a lot of times they hear, well, I'm using a product, but I get halfway through the bottle, but it just doesn't seem to work anymore. And that's because what happens is you get that separation in the bottle, Wayne. And so if you don't actively shake that bottle up and do a great job of getting all of those active ingredients suspended either in the water or the oil that is the carrier for that fly spray, then what's happening is you're using all of that active ingredient in that first half of the bottle. So it's amazing the amount of people that really don't go ahead and shake that bottle according to the manufacturer's recommendation.
Well, you're right. And, the interesting part is when they put those recommendations on the side of the bottle, getting people to read them is another task.
Exactly. And that's why if you read the side of a fly spray bottle, and I recommend that whether you're using Pyranha product or you're using another manufacturer's, that you take the time once to go ahead and read those directions on the product that you're using. What you're going to find is most of us don't apply enough fly spray to our horses to effectively eradicate and eliminate those flies and other nuisance pests from coming to those horses. You're going to see, depending on the product that you're using, that you should be using somewhere between an ounce to 2 ounces of product per application. So when you take a quart bottle, you're really only getting about 2 weeks of protection if you're applying that fly spray once a day.
Right, right. It's and there's also this game too of and I'm going to refer it to like laundry detergents, where a lot of people sell everything in smaller bottles but concentrates. Well, if you're required to mix that or do that stuff at home, you always either overdo it or underdo it. You never seem to hit the magic number that it's recommended.
Yeah, you're correct on that. And depending on how you're mixing that, really can make a difference, because if you're using too much active ingredient, it may not be good for the animal that you're putting that on. And then obviously if you're under mixing that, well, we all know how that goes when we put the fly spray on the horse and, we're out there, or we turn them out in the pasture and we see them out there doing the stomp, or, having those nuisance bugs bother them.
Yeah, it's, there's really quite an art to this, and Pyranha's done a great job over the years of researching and really getting into what's best for the horse or whatever animal that you're using it on. But still, you've got to pay attention to dosage levels and to what too much product could be an irritant to the skin or something too.
Exactly, and any fly spray, depending on if you have a sensitive skin horse, can go ahead and, be an irritant to them. We always recommend, before you try any fly spray, that you do go ahead and do a small patch on the rump of the horse, just to make sure that, you don't have anything that's going to react with those horses.
Okay. Well, now, one of the things, too, about Pyranha, you guys are into some big systems where you can actually periodically through the day on a timed setup, mist an entire barn. And some of these big setups are very elaborate to put in.
Correct. So our Spraymaster system that we have was the first system in development in the country that I'm aware of to come to be. And I've kind of alluded to that when I first started talking today, that's where we got our start. And those systems are designed to be used anywhere from a 4-stall system to an 80-stall system. And so we sell a product that can be used for that. And you're right, what happens is that product is on a timer. It goes off 6 times a day for about 30 to 45 seconds. You can set the time that sprays. And what will happen is that'll put a fine mist in the air, and that'll go out and kill all those flies, mosquitoes, and other biting gnats that you have in the barn. But what happens is as that goes down out of the rafters, it kind of dilutes itself. And so what happens is there's no issues with a horse breathing that product in or anything like that you have. But it does go ahead and create a dome of protection in the facility that you're using to help eliminate the need to have to spray a ready-to-use on the horse when they're in the barn. And so now if you're only going to turn them out into the pasture or something like that, you got to be concerned with going ahead and using a ready-to-use product on them.
Well, turning them into pasture, or when you get ready to head to that trail ride or that horse show or wherever it is you're going to need some of the product in a bottle for that out of the area, so to speak, activity. But correct me if I'm wrong, but it sure seems like when you're doing a misting system like that, eventually, you just don't have the flies hanging around because the whole area is never conducive for them to be there.
Exactly, and that's exactly when I allude to a dome of protection. That's exactly what you get, is because the flies come in and they can't go ahead and live there. They don't come into the area. So it's important to know that flies don't just automatically attract to a horse and stay at the level of the horse. So where our horses are down on the ground, that's the feeding level for a fly. They only go down into that area when they're ready to feed and go ahead and get their meals for the day. Normally what happens is flies live up in the rafters of the building. And so what happens is when you apply this product up in the rafters where we put this, you eradicate the flies from that area.
Right. That's what it was looking like to me, that it was just a great, after a short period of time, they wouldn't be hanging around it because you're covering all of the area of the barn.
Yeah, exactly. And the other advantage to a Spraymaster system is we have a product called Odaway, Wayne, which is an odor neutralizer that's biodegradable and all natural. There's no heavy perfumes or anything in it. You can take a gallon concentrate of that, put it in that system, and it will help eliminate odors that you have in the barn as well. Most of us that are in the equine industry, we don't mind that smell at all, but we all know those people that have a finicky nose and would like to kind of eliminate that a little bit, and our Odaway does that.
Yeah, that's the way you can tell shall we say, a tenderfoot in the barn immediately is, the people that have horses love the smell, and they just kind of turn up their nose.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
Hey, Larry, we're running out of time, but how do people contact Pyranha?
So Pyranha sells through our distributors and our tack and feed stores out there in the market. So the best way to get a hold of Pyranha is contact your local tack and feed store. Let them know what you're looking for. Ask them if they carry Pyranha. If they don't, ask them if they can get it for you, and they definitely can do that, Wayne. If they do.
Well, that's our show. I'm your host, Wayne Williams. Speaking of horses, we'll be back next week with a brand new show. Or join us at speakingofhorses.com.